Selecting the same columns from multiple tables without table alias and with table alias. First, let's select specific columns without table alias. So let's select student number, last name, first name, college ID, college code, course ID, course code, major ID, and then major. So having the same column from multiple tables, there's a need for us to specify what table does the specific column came from. Okay, so let's select student number. So student number will come from TBL students. So TBL student dot student number, and then next last name. So last name will come from TBL students. TBL students dot last name, and then next first name. So first name will come from TBL students also. So TBL students dot first name, and then next college ID. So college ID will come from TBL students also. So TBL students dot college ID, and then next college code. So college code will come from TBL college. So TBL college dot college code, and the next course ID. So course ID will come from TBL student. So TBL student dot course ID, then course code. So course code will come from TBL course. So TBL course dot course code, then next major ID. So major ID will come from TBL student. So TBL student dot major ID, and then next major. So major will come from TBL major. So TBL major dot major from TBL students, TBL college, TBL course, and then TBL major, where TBL student dot college ID is equal to TBL college dot college ID, and TBL student dot course ID is equal to TBL course dot course ID, and TBL student dot major ID is equal to TBL major dot major ID. Okay, so there is also another way to shorten our statements, and that is to select specific columns with table alias. So instead of TBL students, TBL college, TBL course, and TBL major, let's use one letter only as its table alias. So S for TBL students, C for TBL college, R for TBL course, and then M for TBL major. Okay, so select TBL students. So let's use S. So S dot student number, and then TBL students dot last name. So S dot last name, and then Next, table student dot first name. So S dot first name, and then table students dot college ID. So S dot college ID, and then TBL college dot college code. So C dot college code. Then TBL students dot course ID. So S dot course ID, and then next TBL course dot course code. So R dot course code, and then TBL students dot major ID. So S dot major ID, then TBL major dot major. So M dot major from TBL students, then the alias. So S TBL college, then the alias C, and then TBL course, and then the alias R, and then TBL major, and then the course code M, then the alias M, where S dot college ID equal to C dot college ID, and S dot course ID is equal to R dot course ID, and S dot major ID is equal to M dot major ID. Okay, so there we have the same output in a different way, and that is to select the same column from multiple tables without the table alias, and then to select the same columns from multiple tables with the table alias. Okay, so that's it. Thank you and keep safe, everyone.